All right, everybody, we're back. Episode 247 of the Purple Friday show. And yeah, it's Ravens 1-2 after getting bullied by the Detroit Lions. Many have said that this game felt a lot like the Eagles game last year. And just even though the game towards the end it appeared closer, if you looked at the box score, was it 38-30, I think. The Lions were doing whatever they wanted to the Ravens. I mean, Jared Goff went untouched. Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery both scored 2 touchdowns. The 95-yard drive and the 99-yard drive, which they said I think they said the since 01 the Ravens have only given up one drive like that since 01. So even in the years between then, like that hasn't happened, and they gave up two of them on the same night. And then we look at the offensive side of the ball. What was it? 30 pressures, 6 sacks. And yet Lamar still had one of the better quarterback ratings. Like they said, I think they among quarterbacks through 3 games that have had a quarterback rating of 140 or higher. Their record for the season, as far as losses, they've had 1 loss during those seasons. Lamar has 2 already. So it's very clear that, and I think I was telling my wife this, that it's frustrating to watch the Ravens because it's like I could understand if it was like balanced on both sides and like they were just equally bad, right? Both Ravens offense and the defense is just bad. But it's like the Ravens, pretty for the longest time, even with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed in them, it's always extremes with this team. It's always one side is really, really is elite level Hall of Fame good, and the other side is Browns level bad. Like it's just there's no in between with this team. And a lot of people tried to point to, well, Nnamdi Madubuike wasn't on the field on Monday Night Football game. Like, he was on the field in that Bills game too. I'm like, I'm not going to pit this all just the fact that Nnamdi wasn't in there. We saw games last year when Nnamdi was healthy, where there were games where he felt like he disappeared. You were like, why we were paying him all this money? He wasn't getting any pressure and stuff. So there have been too many times, I think, with this team on both sides of the ball where the guys getting paid all the money it feels like they're not stepping in. Now they were getting on Kyle. Like I think they saw the Pro Football Focus grade for him was he was one of the worst defenders. But to be fair to Kyle, they're playing him out of position.
Way out of position.
Both safeties, Malachi and Kyle, are playing 30 yards in the backfield. Like this. And what the Bills did and what the Chiefs have done, the Lions did, they weren't really throwing anything deep. They were literally like, okay, you're going to give us 30 yards. We'll just throw it in between these zones here, these little gaps. And we'll let our guys get yak yardage because you're not in, by the time somebody gets to them, they've already gained 10, 15 yards. Right. So I don't know. It's not, people have been saying it's not doom or gloom. It's not, and I think I said this in the chat. I was like, I feel like with this team right now, it just with Henry fumbling, everything just seems to be going wrong. And they'll be lucky to get 10 wins this year. Because I know there's going to be some hardball games in there where there's going to be teams they should beat the brakes off of and they're going to lose to. It's always like at least 2 games that happens every season. And then I feel like with the Steelers, they'll lose one of those probably. Even the Bengals, with the shootout or whatever, they may lose one of those. I don't know what Jake Browning's he's going to be around. I don't know. But it feels bad. Because it just feels like when we get to the Chiefs this coming Sunday, I don't know what the attitude is. Just like we talked about this before I let you go. We talked this in the chat, like this play like a Raven mantra. If you're saying play like a Raven from the 2000s, that's not it anymore. If your mantra is we're going to play not to win, we're going to play not to lose football games instead of playing to win, then that's exactly what this team is. Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, 1000% agree. It's unfortunate the way these 2 out of these last 3 games have gone. I mean, obviously this Detroit game is probably one of the most frustrating games. I mean, anytime you have a key player or key players out, let's say, for the Lions game on our defensive line, obviously we were without Madubuike, and yes, we knew it was going to be some struggles at the defensive line position. However, I don't think anyone could have expected what we saw as far as them not being able to get no rush, like nothing. And the crazy thing about it is, the couple of times we did get a little pressure, you saw Jared Goff fold in those couple instances earlier in the game. It was like, okay, he's throwing ducks anytime he gets any type of pressure on him. And we couldn't provide just enough pressure to get him off balance even a little bit. It was just really, really bad to watch. And not even just defensively, but um, offensively. It's to the point now where, like, our offense is so good, we can criticize them when they put up 30 points at this point, because we kind of see how the game is going, and on the trenches, just in general, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, we're getting pushed around all game. Obviously, they did okay enough to get through the first few quarters or whatever the case may be, but the O line didn't really look that great. I mean, Lamar was literally scrambling for his life. A lot of people found a way to criticize Lamar and the way he held onto the ball at sometimes, and sometimes when he was just trying to make things happen out of nothing. That's a result of you not really getting no other help outside of you just having to play hero ball. We talk about it here time and time again, how Lamar is forced to be in these positions where he has to kind of do it on his own, which pretty much contributes to the success we do have on offense. To the points we do put up on offense is usually because Lamar is doing whatever he got to do to make a play, when he can't just sit back and relax like most quarterbacks in the league and make plays from the pocket. When every time he hikes the ball and looks up to look downfield and read a defense, he has defenders in his face. Like that pretty much was just all game. The fact that somebody has 30 pressures on Lamar, 7 sacks on Lamar. We have the best quarterback in the NFL, debatably, obviously. Possible 3-time MVP, 2-time MVP. It doesn't make any sense for a quarterback of his caliber to be getting sacked 7 times. Like, that's a problem. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Jared Goff, you got one of the most least mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. He's just able to just sit back there, be a natural statue, and just make plays from the pocket with no type of disruption. And yes, Kyle Van Noy was out. Yes, Beeks was out. But what were we doing all summer? Like, is this what we knew we had in the building all along? Is that we were just going to rely on Matabike, just saving the interior D line and stopping the whole run every game this season? Were we relying on Oweh to step up and be that much better than he was incrementally since he's been here? It's just not realistic expectations. And we all thought, as Ravens fans, we feel like the wolves pulled over our eyes, because it's like, I thought we had a little bit of depth here, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And yes, our secondary is not going to look great when we can't rush the passer, especially a good team against the Detroit Lions, who has weapons all over the place at the receiver position, at the tight end position, at the running back position. They had David Montgomery looking like he was one of the best backs in the league, which is crazy. If David Montgomery had a little bit of speed, he probably would have scored 5 touchdowns against us. But a lot of the times, we ended up running him down in some of those plays, but it was super easy to find a lane and expose it. So, a lot more to get to, but just overall, just a horrible performance. I don't like, we'll talk about what Kyle Hamilton said, the attitude that he has. We don't like Marlon Humphrey and the way he's been getting cooked and being out of position. He's made a couple of good plays in that game as well. Particularly in that run defense, when that one play where he blew up the blocker. I think Sam Laporta, he just blew him to smithereens and was able to make the stop in the backfield. But outside of that, he was getting cooked. And once again, he got cooked for the play of the game at the end. That pretty much sealed it, for us at the end of the game. It's just a lot of our team. It's just a really, really soft mentality. Not used to seeing this from the Ravens team, even in a loss. But they got some soul searching to do, because what we saw, that product that we saw, there's really no room to complain about fans after putting on a performance like that. That was a horrible game, and they better get it together quick.
I mean, especially to do it on Monday Night Football during a blackout. Like, I mean, they've been hyping it up for 2 weeks. telling all the fans wear their black Raven stuff, and to put a performance like that was just atrocious. Um, another situation we I think people have been hyping up now the last couple of weeks is the Keaton Mitchell situation. If Derrick Henry is going to have issues in the backfield where he's holding onto the football, you may need to use another running back besides Derrick Henry at some point.
Yeah.
And Justice Hill is not the answer. Like, I don't know if there was one play where Justice Hill did catch the ball, but his legs were shaking. Like, he looked like a baby deer out there. He was like doing, I don't know what he was doing, but every time Justice Hill has touched the ball, I think in the last 3 games, it's either been in front of negative play or negligible. Like, it hasn't had any impact. And Harbaugh came out with the comment saying, why don't you guys use Keaton Mitchell more when he's on the field? And he said, oh, it'll be too obvious that he's going to get the ball. And I'm like,
are you serious?
Like,
the way you run this offense,
right? I'm like,
you know what happens.
So why is Derrick Henry out there then? Oh, Derrick Henry's going to get the ball. He's out there. If Justice Hill's out, everybody has said this. If Hill is out there, it's a pass play. If Derrick's out there, it's a run play. Like, this offense, and Tomlin has said this years ago, the offense is real vanilla. Their packages aren't creative enough. They don't run enough stuff out of these different packages. We've said time and time again, like, being able to have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews out on the field, having them out on the field, you could run so many things out of there. Like, you could do, like, you could run a run play. You can run a toss play. You can run play action. Like, there's a lot of different things, different formations. We saw it with the Peyton Manning, especially. We saw it with Peyton Manning. Like, how many times did Peyton Manning go out there with a basic package, and he would go out there and run different things because it was creative. You didn't know what they were going to play out of it.
If the Ravens just took from their opponents from time to time, look what the Lions did. They had plays where they had David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs on the same play. The defense didn't know what was coming. Like,
yeah,
it's just simple. Like, some of it's just common sense. Like, you don't have to be that calculated to just be a little creative. Like, it's not that hard.
And I understand, and it seems to be it doesn't matter which coordinator's in there, right? We said this with Greg Roman, that it would say, like, oh man, like, well, if we put this guy out there, they're going to know we're doing this. You don't have to hand them the ball, right? You can just have him out there as a decoy. Like, when we watch the Chiefs offense, a lot of times when Kelsey is out there, sometimes he'll say, he said, well, I'll run routes to divert a safety or corner to my side to give somebody else a free run up the side or something like that, or over the middle. Like, he knows he's not getting the ball, but they make him run one of those routes just to you got to pay attention to him. Safety's got to cover him. You got to cover Kelsey, and they know that. But I hate that the Ravens are like, literally, it feels like they outcoach themselves out of good plays. They feel like they outcoached themselves out of good plays. And then one of the guys, I think somebody called in to the station, made another good point about the time management when it comes to getting to the line of scrimmage. Like, we've complained for years about the fact that the Ravens seem to get to the line of scrimmage with 5 seconds left to go. There's like no time to make an adjustment at all. They just get to the ball, get to the line and hike. Like, there's no time to make an adjustment. And they said the reason why, especially in that Lions game where they were getting beat on a lot of run plays, is because the Lions knew, they got 5 seconds left. There's no time for them to do a fake hike or anything like that. They're hiking the ball at 2 or 1. Like, when the clock runs down, just run.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, we're going to beat that play.
And you're giving a head start to Aiden Hutchinson, basically, which has been wrecked your whole game plan. Like, it's bad. It was just bad play calling. The running back pass, and like, you're calling plays that, like, if your line was blocking, maybe, but your line ain't been blocking, bro.
No.
Like, your line ain't blocking on both sides. On the other side, they're not getting rushed. Like, come on.
And then, him to come out trying to defend Falele and saying, "Oh, he's doing a real good job out there and stuff. We're gonna stick with him." Like, come on, man.
No one is.
Look, you can admit you don't have anybody else because Ben Cleveland is not a good backup for him.
No one was doing a really good job on the offensive line.
No one won. And now Stanley has an ankle injury. And now Stanley
I bet he does.
He probably does it. Yeah, he probably.
I bet he does. Aiden was giving him that work. I know. Last time we saw Detroit, Aiden Hutchinson wasn't there.
No. The 30 pressures is wild, man. 30 pressures is wild.
I don't think I've heard of that before, honestly. Not with our team.
Yeah, let's get to this real quick. So I wanted to just Kyle Hamilton said, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, and they asked him about, a lot of Ravens fans have been calling into the station and things like that. Are talking about we got to get rid of Zach Orr and everything else. And he basically kind of said, he's like, I feel like sometimes Ravens fans can be a little spoiled. Just the amount of success that this franchise has had. We lose 5 games and the world's about to end. I think on Zach, it's unfair to put all the blame on him, where there's 11 guys out there on the field that are playing their hearts. He's put us in right positions. It's just a matter of us doing the right stuff. That's not true, because the pictures we've seen on goal line, I think Travis pointed out in the comments here, they had Oweh out on a wide right on a goal line situation, had him out wide, had Marlon Humphrey lined up over a D tackle. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, and then it's that whole comment, I think that what's his name had Harbaugh said a couple years ago about the fans sitting down at the edge of the bar, at the end of the bar, making comments and stuff. This whole, and now it's kind of spilled over with Hamilton saying, "Oh, Ravens fans are a little spoiled." I'm like, damn right we are.
My question is, spoiled of what? We haven't won the Super Bowl since what, 2013?
12 years.
What could we be spoiled of? Right. I mean, if you're talking about having just legitimate expectations of a successful franchise organization to win games they should win, sure, but spoiled, I don't think that fit the scenario that we've been witnessing with this ball club. I mean, Hamilton, this ain't your first rodeo. Like, you saw how the year started last season, and we had to make some changes and get it together. We had to get a couple of guys out of there, and the defense kind of turned it around. Like, it's not your first rodeo, bro. Like, I don't know where that comments come. I guess that's his way of defending the guys, defending his coach. But being the player that was kind of put out of position all game by your coach, like, you would think that you would just stay mum on that one, but it is what it is. Spoiled is not there's a bunch of words you can probably say. Pissed off, frustrated, maybe our expectations are too high, but we thought that y'all probably had the same expectations, but maybe that's, maybe this team just ain't the team that shares that with us. But spoiled is not the word that I would choose. It's being as though we haven't won a chip in however many years. We're not in Cowboy territory yet, but I mean, come on now. How long can an organization hold on to 2 championships? 2000, 2013, or 12, 13, whatever. It's 2025. It's time to stop hanging on to that. And that goes for John Harbaugh too, who seemingly has been leaning on the backs of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, who got him to his first championship, first and only championship. It's time to release that. Like, that's not, you're not the same coach. This is not the same team. The expectations are not the same. It's not the same defense. We're still waiting on you to earn it without our superheroes of Baltimore. We need you to do it without the proof of something. But yeah, spoiled is ridiculous. If we talking within 5 years, we've been winning chips, then maybe that's one thing. But we've been in one AFC championship game in the past
12 years.
12 years.
12 years.
Cut the malarkey.
and I think that's what gets on my nerves. I'm like, I could understand if I was a Chiefs fan or a Chiefs player. Like, you guys been to 4 Super Bowls or whatever, and won 2, 3 of them or something like that.
You're allowed a mid
Patriots fans for the last 20 years. Like, you get it. Okay. Ravens fans, we spoiled for what? This is the first time in our history we've actually had a top 5 offense with an MVP quarterback. We've never had this.
Ever.
We've never had this. Lamar is literally going to be the best player, not just quarterback, but best player we probably had ever in Ravens history.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like he's being wasted. And I'll say this. I'll blame Ravens PR team on this. They knew he was speaking. Like, they always put a list out of who they're going to interview after practice and stuff like that. They should have, hey man, look, they ask you about Zach Orr. Okay. Don't say anything about the fans. Okay. Just say, look, I get it. The fans are frustrated. That's real easy to say. I get it. The fans are frustrated, but we know we're working through some things right now, and guys just need to do what they do. Like, I feel like what Marlon said after the first week was what needed to be said. We're not playing good football right now. Mm-hmm. If guys are not willing to play to that level, guys need to sit down. He said that. I felt like what Marlon said in week 1 was valid. A lot of fans were okay, thanks, and they had a dinner and all that other stuff, and it appeared that they fixed it after the Browns fan. But then Kyle Hamilton says this right on the heels of a Chiefs game. Ravens fans are spoiled. I'm like, yes, we're not the Jaguars, we're not the Texans, we're not the Panthers. We're not the Raiders. We came into the season as Super Bowl favorites. Like, people have picked the Eagles and the Ravens in most betting and stuff. I think this morning on First Take that the Ravens, even at 1-2, still have the second best odds to make it to the Super Bowl. Still,
crazy. Yeah.
The betting people still have the Ravens as the second best team to make the Super Bowl. So yes, the Ravens fans have a right to feel spoiled right now. Yes, yeah. And there's a certain, again, you are representing a legendary defense in a division that's known for defense, not just the Ravens. You're talking about the Browns of old, even with Myles Garrett, the Steelers, and what the Ravens and the Steelers used to do in the early 2000s. The amount of Hall of Famers that have been around for both teams. Yes, there's a certain level of expectation that we expect, especially from that defense. Offense we get, Lamar runs most of it, but there's a certain level of attitude that we expect from that defense. And you could tell by that's comment by Kyle Hamilton that they don't have that. I think Cam Newton said they don't have that want to. There's certain players that you need to have. You need to have that want to get it done. And look, we can agree that not all the blame is going to be on Zach Orr. These guys are veterans. Roquan's a veteran. Marlon Humphrey's a veteran. Kyle Hampton's been playing for 3-4 years now. Like, the only rookies out there are Mike Green and Malachi Starks.
Right.
Awuzie is a veteran. Jair Alexander. Like, these guys, you know your football, right? You know your football.
Yep.
And it's just the way they played. It's one thing if they just went back and forth. It was a defensive battle and the Ravens lost like 16-15, something like that. A defensive battle, man, they got one on us, man. We could have lived with that. If it was a defensive battle, both defenses were just locking the offenses down, but it's just the way our offense was not protecting Lamar and the way the defense was just getting destroyed. Like, the Lions played Ravens football against the Ravens defense.
Mm-hmm.
They just and they weren't doing any outside runs. They weren't doing any pitch plays, no zone runs. They just ran it straight up the middle. Every time they just ran it straight up the middle.
Yep.
And they did nothing to fix that. They didn't bring Hamilton down, I think, into the box area until like the fourth quarter. Yeah. They didn't realize, they're not throwing the ball 30 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Like, the only deep threat they said coming into the game, the only deep threat they had was Jameson Williams. He got one play like that all game. Yeah, like one play.
And this is the point that this is why I keep putting it on Harbaugh, because yes, Zach Orr needs to make that call and make that adjustment, but he didn't make the adjustment.
Yeah.
So that's what Harbaugh had. He had the knowledge of the game that he should have. This is where your head coach steps in and tells you to make an adjustment. If that's something that we're seeing on tape, that we're seeing from the printouts and on the Microsoft Surface, and we're seeing what's happening, and the defensive coordinator is not making an adjustment, offensive coordinator is not making an adjustment, this is where, as the head coach, you jump in and you make an adjustment to the flow of the game. We're going to start doing this now. Figure out a way. I don't know how we're going to do it, but figure out a way to do this. Bring Kyle down and figure out some plays from there. I'm not telling him to be a play caller, but this is, as a head coach, this is where you come in, you make adjustments on the fly. They were gashing us with the same plays all game.
Yeah,
it wasn't complicated. It was like, y'all can't beat us. We're going to do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, how do we make the guys that we do have personnel-wise, how do we make that work? What position do we need to put them in to be successful? Or to at least make them do something different? And they couldn't even do that.
And I think I said this going into this game when we found out Nnamdi was going to be out and Van Noy was going to be out, that now we're going to find out if Zach Orr can coach. Because this is what happened. Injuries happen. We've seen already through week 3, several teams are dealing with injuries on both sides of the ball. And that's part of the NFL. It happens. Guys are going to get hurt. But what matters is, do you have these guys who are the next step coached up and ready to go out there and do their job. And the Ravens aren't doing their job. Travis Jones getting pushed around. Broderick Washington, I don't know why even paying that man at this point. That man has been ghost since they paid him his extension like 2-3 years ago. He's been ghost. Owe had that one good play in the backfield, and you didn't hear from him the rest of the football game. Ajabo doesn't even start, and that's another thing that gets on my nerves too.
They had Ajabo playing linebacker.
Was he playing? Oh, right, yeah, he was playing coverage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What gets on my nerves is that you Ravens have wasted all this capital on Ajabo, Adafe Owe. Look, I would say Mike Green to this point because you haven't really seen him make an impact yet on outside linebackers, and they have been almost nothing. It's almost nothing from these guys. And we were sold on Mike. Look, we were sold on Mike Green. You know, look, I get he's a rookie. You know, it still may take some time.
He has time, but I mean, that's the issue. Is like we shouldn't have to go into a season hoping that he's going to be the answer. Yeah. Like we need depth. Like we drafted him, and we have high expectations for him. But as an organization, was the expectation for him to come in and immediately contribute the same or more than what Owe's doing? Was the expectation for Owe to? So, like, how many games does it take to lose?
Yeah.
To start turning over every stone? That's my question. Because do we need to lose this Chiefs game to start making some roster moves? Do we need to lose the game after that? I'm just curious of when do you sound the alarm?
Yeah.
EDC, John Hart, whoever. Because especially like you said earlier, this was not just any game. I mean, yes, it's against the Lions, but Monday night at home
against a playoff caliber team.
If it was a playoff atmosphere up until a certain point,
into the third quarter, that's how I turned it off.
Yeah,
I knew it was about to happen. And I think the thing is the Ravens, for the last 3 years have been pretty good against playoff caliber teams, especially during the regular season. They had one of the better records against like playoff teams, and now the Ravens have lost to two of them. The Bills and the Lions, and looking at the Chiefs right now, who are also 1-2, don't want to go 1-3. It feels like if your Super Bowl chances, I think I saw the stat that I think only 14% of teams who are 1-3 end up making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the Chiefs. If I'm the Chiefs, I don't feel as bad as 1-2 as the Ravens do. I mean, the Chiefs, we know exactly why they're 1-2.
Right.
They're 1-2 because they're down a few weapons.
Wait, they don't have Rasheed Rice isn't there. Reserve Worthy isn't out there. And Mahomes is pretty much the offense right now.
Kelsey's pretty washed, even though he's still productive.
And they're not getting blown out by anybody. Like they're in these games.
Yeah, and the defense is still playing okay.
Yeah. So, and we know how Harbaugh coaches against Andy Reid. He's afraid of that man.
It's bad.
He's afraid. It just doesn't. With Nnamdi out, and then Stanley dealing with his injury, especially with giving up 30 pressures in 7 sacks, it just doesn't look good going into this week. But we'll get into let's do our bells and pookies from this week. A little time to think on we want to give our bells to. So I'm going to give my bell to I can't believe his name is Tucker. The wide receiver from the Raiders. He's balling right now. Doing his thing. And he's been on the waiver wire for everybody. Like he's been 63% of people now. Like if you open your ESPN or Yahoo app, like he's the most asked, and no one really drafted him, in the fantasy drafts, but they're getting him involved in stuff. So he's one of my bells this week. And I'll give a bell to who was it made the play? Was it Jordan Davis that made the play for the Eagles?
Oh yeah, that was Jordan Davis that ran back that field goal.
He needed to redeem himself obviously from week 1, and he made the block, got the fumble, and ran it down to score the touchdown. You got to look. The Eagles are a scary team because it really does feel like they could go undefeated because they're winning. When you go undefeated, it's always laced with these games that are like these 1-score games that in there they end up winning when they're winning all these kind of games, and no one can stop the brotherly shove. No one can stop it. Like they even showed it during the Rams game. Like they're still jumping, false starting. They're still jumping early. but no one's caught. They can't stop it. It's
Yeah.
unstoppable right now. So, those are my bells.
Yeah, I don't. Bells was kind of tough for me this week. I do like your Eagles bell with Jordan Davis. The fact that he ran all those yards without getting ran down at all.
Yeah, he didn't want to ran him down.
At being 350 something pounds is
But
crazy.
to be fair, it's mostly offensive linemen, on the kick field goal team. So I mean,
yeah. I'm gonna give a bell to what's the the Jets head coach on the sideline. Aaron Glenn, man. They lost the game, but
that dance on the sideline.
I enjoyed that dance, man.
Yeah,
I
that was
for that.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna give another bell to the Panthers who just blanked the Atlanta Falcons 30-0.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody went to that game expecting the Falcons to get tore up like that, or let alone lose the game. But the fact that he went in there and put up 30 against Atlanta, didn't allow a point. That was kind of they kind of like it was just strange because we thought the Panthers was about to be super trash, and maybe it's just the Falcons are super trash and they were just posing up to this point. Who knows? We'll find out this week. Yeah. But I give the bell to Carolina because I'm probably not going to give too many more bells to Carolina for the rest of the season. So I might as well get that out the way.
Get out of the way now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to our Pookies. Michael Penix for the Falcons. Getting benched against the Panthers is egregious in week 3.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's not it. I think he's getting the start this week, but he's on thin ice. Mm-hmm. There's only been so many times you can get benched before they just move on to the next quarterback. I'm sorry, man. That's one of my Pookies. And then another Pookie I'm going to give is to Kyle Hamilton, and he's one of my favorite Ravens right now. He's one of my favorite Ravens, but that comment he made was egregious.
Kind of shut up.
Just keep your mouth shut, man. Yeah, this, when it comes to don't say anything, I think it's don't say anything about the fans.
Yeah.
Don't say anything about the fans. Period.
At all.
Whether they're right or wrong, don't say anything. It can't go well. They can't. Just say, hey, we got things we need to work on. I understand the fans are frustrated.
Yeah.
Very simple to say. But
saying anybody whose back we got is yours. If there's anybody on the defense whose back we got, it's
Hamilton.
Yours.
We understand. We saw that Bills game, man. He was single-handedly keeping us in that game.
Yeah.
But you don't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't say stuff like that. Go get another dinner reservation. Apparently, they're going to need to keep having them each week. They need to have another dinner reservation ready before the Chiefs game or something. They got to do dinner somewhere before the Chiefs game.
Crazy. I just got one Pookie for this week. Tua. It's got to be Tua. Yes, they played the Bill a nice, fully loaded Bills team, but Tua just continues to impress me with how disappointing he can be. Mm-hmm. It's just bad. I don't think I've ever seen as many dump off passes as I've seen in that game. Am I thinking about the week before? No, that was Thursday this past week. So, it was last week.
Yeah.
So many dump down passes, and also to throw the game with the interceptions directly to the defender. Yeah. It's been week after week now for Tua. I think he's on a short leash. I mean, maybe they keep him and they figure out some stuff with Tyreek Hill. I don't know what's going on over there in Miami, but between him and the coach, it ain't looking good. The decision making has took a hit.
I feel like
the coach and the quarterback.
By the time they get to week 7, week 8, they really need to consider just who they can trade to get some draft capital.
Yeah.
And just start off fresh next year. Tua can't be the starting quarterback. Tyreek Hill clearly doesn't want to be there. You're going to need a new head coach anyway. I would whoever has value in the trade market that we can maybe stack some draft picks.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need to rebuild. We're going to need to start over.
So puzzling with all those weapons over there. It's like
they said, this team is usually built for the summer. But usually, they're we expect this team to be good in September and October.
Red hot.
It's usually once they get to December, they start falling apart, but they're falling apart already. So
yeah,
I think I said I thought after this past game he would get fired, but it sounds like he's got one more week. I think he's got one more week and he might be done.
Yeah.
All right, let's do let's do some of our week 4 picks here. Some good games. I feel like the games we had this past week were kind of trash, to be honest with you. But the games this week do appear to be good. Obviously, the Seahawks beat the Cardinals last night. Vikings Steelers, they're playing in Dublin, so you know how these international games go.
Okay.
Yeah, they're playing in Dublin.
9:30 a.m.
Yeah, so you know how these international games are. They're kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Brian Flores as far as what he does on the defense side, especially with the Vikings. I just feel like I don't know. Aaron Rodgers did had a decent game last week, but I just don't think. Yeah, I think Brian Flores has an extra ground with the Steelers. I think he was there. I think he wanted to be there, continue to be there, but they didn't want to keep him. I think he still has an extra ground with Pittsburgh. And I just think he'll have Brian Flores, I think, is one of the better defensive coordinators out there. And I think usually in these kind of games are either very low scoring or it's a blowout. So I think if it's one of those games that at halftime they're like at 10-10 or 9-6 or something like that, the Vikings probably gonna win that football game. So,
yeah,
I think the Vikings.
I think it's gonna be a pretty ugly game. Probably low scoring. I think I'm gonna give it to the Steelers only just based on going up against a rookie quarterback, Mike Tomlin. I think he just kind of does well in that situation, and it being overseas. I just think the morning time game is just probably going to bode well for Pittsburgh, but not for no real reason. I think I got Pittsburgh like plus 2.5 in this game.
Yeah, I think that line was kind of wild. I saw that was like 2.5 points.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That was wild. That was like
I think they'll win, but if they lose, it'll be pretty close. But I'll still pick Pittsburgh in that one.
Yeah. All right. Commanders against the Falcons. Commanders at Atlanta. Based on what happened with the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix. Now Jaden Daniels is still hurt.
They said he's out. Yeah.
And then I think Terry McLaurin is also dealing with something too.
He's ruled out. He's ruled out as well.
So that game could be interesting to pick.
Yeah, it's a tough game to pick.
Falcons are at home after coming off an embarrassing loss.
Are they starting Penix again, or are they put?
They said they're starting Penix again this week. They're going to start him again this week.
So he'll be on a shorter leash though if that game is close. I think. Yeah. If he's messing up and that game is close, they'll probably pull him for Kirk sooner. But I think the Falcons win this home just because they don't have a deep threat, and I think they got away with it with Marcus Mariota the first week, but without Terry out there, that threat of the deep ball is not going to be there. It's just not. So I'll take the Falcons at home, not by a lot, but I'll take the Falcons at home. Yeah, I probably would have took Washington, but the fact that, like you said, is Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin being out, I think it bodes well for the Falcons because they still got Bijan over there.
Yeah,
they still got Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and company. I'm not even going to name Kyle Pitts because we don't talk about him on the show anymore. But I got the Falcons in that one.
All right, so Chargers Giants next. There'll be Jackson Dart's first game as a rookie, so I'm clearly going to take the Chargers in this one.
Same.
Just Jim Harbaugh and that offense. I mean, Najee Harris should have was he injured his Achilles or ACL?
Barely plays anyway, but
so he's out.
Recovery to him.
Amari Hampton is going to be the premier back going forward, but with Keenan Allen catching the ball, Quentin Johnson has found a way to catch the ball consistently now.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually led to the point where Ladd McConkey's kind of been the third option.
Right.
Which is not necessarily a bad situation to have.
For me, since he's on my fantasy team, but
I don't like it. Yeah, I hate it. He's on at least 2 of my teams. I don't like it. But for them, it's a good situation to have. You got 3 quality wide receivers, and Herbert's playing really good football. So even though they're playing on the East Coast, I'm going to give this with rookie quarterback his first game. I'm going to give this to the Chargers.
Same for all the reasons you just said.
All right, Travis. I hope you're watching this and keep track for us. Our picks. We'll watch this later.
With the running back.
Titans Texans. This is a trash game. I'll take the Texans at home.
Yeah, I'll take the Texans. It's
a trash game. Eagles Buccaneers. Now this is going to be a good game.
Ooh.
This is going to be a good game because it's going to be. I think it's going to be a very gritty game.
Where are they?
In Tampa, 1:00 game.
Ooh.
This game honestly should have been like a 4:00 game, to be honest with you, or Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
For
sure.
But this is going to be a gritty game. Because the way Baker plays. Now, Mike Evans, I think, is out. But I think Chris Godwin is coming back. I think he's coming back for this game. You know, he's
And
been dealing with injuries his entire career. He seems to be always him. He's like him and Keenan Allen appear to be the same. They're always out. I do like the run game for Tampa, but I mean the Eagles with Saquon Barkley, and you know, it's one of those things. Who's going to be able to stop the brotherly shove? It's one of those things where defensively, it's like you have to get the Eagles in passing downs. Like you can't allow them to get into 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s.
Yeah.
You can't. You almost can't. You have to keep them at 4th and 6 or whatever, something where they can't do the shove.
Right.
It's hard to do because of they're. I'll give credit where credit's due. Jalen Hurts does something I wish Lamar would do more, and Jalen Hurts does whatever is needed to win the football game. If that means he needs to scramble more during the game, he scrambles more. He only throws like 160, 175, then so be it. If he needs to throw 280, 3 touchdowns, then he'll do that. I kind of wish Lamar would take that attitude more when he sees the game unfolding the way it is, and like, let me just take the game over. It's not working. I can't throw the deep pass, but they're giving me 15 yards of green space. I'm gonna go take it. it.
I mean, I don't know if he can just throw 185 when he wants. It seems like it's a struggle to get to 115 for Hurts for the last several weeks. Actually, even last year. But
yeah.
But I don't know. It's Tush Push. They said they're going to be looking at it closely now.
They haven't done it yet.
So and with all the penalties that on the rewatch, that those guys be jumping kind of early.
They jump early every time. They're both guards.
It's getting close. Yeah,
both guards.
Yep. So I don't know. I think I'm picking the Bucks simply because they're home. I just think that, like you said, I like the Bucks running game. Saquon been kind of bottled up from the last week, but I don't think he's gonna be bottled up in this game. But I don't think they'll have enough. I think as close as these Eagles games have been, I think there's just a week that they finally slip up, and it's gonna be because they got Baker, who he's not going to stop fighting until triple zeros, quadruple zeros, whatever. I just think they're going to make just more plays than what the Eagles have in their game plan.
And I think that the Bucks will do a good job of making this an ugly game.
Yeah,
they'll make it an ugly game. There's going to be some takeaways, some turnovers, things like that. Yep. I think it just keeps it.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles fare against the run game for sure. But I think Baker might make enough plays in the pass game to get them over the hump. So I'll take the Bucks in this one.
Next one, Panthers, Patriots, trash game. I'll take the Patriots at home.
Yeah, I'll take the pass.
Saints, Bills at home. Lions, Browns. This is an interesting game for the simple fact just because of the Browns have done a really good job at stopping the run.
Who they just beat last week? Didn't they beat a team they shouldn't have beat?
Yeah, they beat it was a good team too, wasn't it?
I'm trying to look up the schedule real quick.
It was a week 3.
It was a good team. Schedule.
Week 3, they beat the Packers. Yeah, 13-10.
Oh yeah.
Who have Josh Jacobs. Yeah, so they do a really good. They did it against us. They stopped the run well. They did it against the Packers. Stopped the run.
Still got the Lions winning, but
yeah, I mean they have a lot more weapons. Receiving, especially to the portal, and you still got Morale, St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. Which is how the Ravens beat the Browns. Lamar threw the football on them, so they'll stop the run game.
38 on us. They're probably still riding high off that.
But Myles Garrett's on a roll right now. Like he's on a roll right now. I don't know. I'll ask you this question before we move to next team. Based on the quarterback play we've seen so far, I think it's very possible that there'll be a non-quarterback that wins MVP this year, as of right now. Like it's very possible that a non-quarterback could win MVP this year.
Yeah, it's really quiet, I think. Surprisingly, I think Lamar is like number 1 in most QB categories.
But because of the record right now, they're like
But because he's 1 and 2, is it's not getting looked at. And it's no quarterback that's really, shaking the stands right now. I think mainly it's been everything else. So I agree with you. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at least through 4 weeks, at least through 3 weeks. It's definitely looking that way.
All right. So we said Lions in that one. Jags, 49ers. Brock Purdy's out. Nick Bosa. Travis Hunter seemed to be, underutilized. Everybody's complaining about how he's being utilized with the Jags. 49ers are at home. Still got Christian McCaffrey. I'll do it the 49ers here. I'm not going to do
Yeah, I think that's enough. I think Christian McCaffrey is enough
Yeah.
to get him to win this game. I still don't believe in Trevor Lawrence and what he's doing over there. He's giving you like one TD, one pick every week,
Yeah.
it seems. Still wildly inconsistent, but he'll have a flash play here and there. I just think that the 49ers, even without Brock Purdy, they've still had, the better game plans. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is still racking up tons of yards, catching and running the ball. And Ricky Pearsall, like he's turned into,
he's
turned into
Ed
an
McCaffrey
elite
out
receiver
there.
at this point.
He's Ed McCaffrey out there.
Yeah, he's been doing work. So
Wes Welker.
he's been more than making up for the absence of Brandon Ayuk and others.
Yeah, and they don't know when he's coming back. They said they have no timetable for Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
great use of money there.
Yep.
I'm glad he got his money though. He got paid.
Yeah, he got paid on the way out. He must have knew something that we didn't.
This could be game of the week. Colts Rams, and the only game of the week because of how well the Colts have been playing.
Yeah,
we saw how close that Rams Eagles games was. Literally came down to a field goal, like a blocked hand. It's literally what it came down to.
Yeah,
they're playing in LA, but the Colts have been on a roll right now. Tyler Warren has been boom for them. Jonathan Taylor been as advertised. Obviously, Michael Pittman doing his thing. Rams have been good. Matthew Stafford has been healthy. I think that was a question. I think going to this season, can they keep Matthew? I was like, as long as they keep Matthew Stafford healthy, this is a quality playoff team. I was like, if they keep Matthew Stafford healthy, and he has been, and they're playing in LA, this will be a true test for Daniel Jones. Is he really on his like Sam Darnold, Jared Goff kick right now? This needs to change the scenery. Is Daniel Jones at that level? Can he, can he do it there? I will take, because the Rams are at home, I think it's going to be a high scoring. I think it's a good fantasy game. But if you got any fantasy, I think it's going to be a good fantasy game. I think the Rams eat this one out because I think that Eagles loss is still a bad taste from last week. So I think the Rams at home.
I think the Rams bounce back this week and get the win. I do love what everything the Colts are doing, especially the running game and the receiver stepping up. And Danny Dimes has earned his name back, apparently.
Yeah.
And they're looking good over there. I just think that, the Rams, they're just a little bit better and a little bit more consistent. I think they make, they're going to make a lot more big plays down the field, I think. But I would not be surprised if they lost this game. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Rams in this one. Home advantage.
All right, Bears, Raiders next week. I'll take the Bears just because the Raiders seem to be – Genti's kind of like iffy right now. Mm-hmm. And there's just not a lot of trust. But Geno's been making a lot of mistakes. And coming off that game where the Bears beat the Cowboys, they're riding high right now. Yeah. So – and they're using, if they can utilize DJ Moore in the Doomsday like the way they're doing, they can be a really good offense.
Yeah.
So,
I think I had the Bears too, but I think it's because I like what Swift is doing in the backfield.
Yeah.
And like you said, Doomsday and DJ Moore, I like their weapons. I think Caleb can if he can just stay consistent and not make any mistakes, I think he'll be good. I think his takeaways that he's had in every game, he's played fairly well in the first half of these games. It's just a matter of him remaining that way throughout the end. But I think they may put themselves in a situation where they may be able to win this game on the ground towards the end of the game. So I'm gonna pick the Raiders are just a little too inconsistent for me. I don't know, Trey Tucker's been really good for them. Genty is, hit or miss. We'll see. I do think Genty's really good. I think, he's going to get some consistency. I just don't think
he's got to get his legs under him, man.
I just think this week won't be the week.
Yeah. All right. Let's do Jets Dolphins. Tie. Maybe a tie.
I'm gonna take the Jets. Just
it's a trash game.
Aaron Glenn. I'll take the Jets.
We need to do it. We need to say Aaron Glenn dance again. That needs to be a thing. That needs to be a thing every week.
You got to get the win this time, though.
You got to get the win, right? Don't do the dance until after y'all win, right? This time, just wait.
I know he was sick watching himself on TV.
Like, they've been showing that clip all week of him. Like,
that's gonna be all year. They're gonna show that.
Wait till the win. Then I'm gonna hit the dance, and the players that's got to be a thing. Keep going. Keep going. Bengals, Broncos, Monday Night Football, another doubleheader. Bengals, Broncos. I'm gonna take the Broncos at home.
Yeah, I'm taking Denver. I think the defense is going to force some turnovers in that one.
And then, Sunday night, I forgot. Sunday Night Football, Packers, Cowboys. Micah goes back home to Dallas. Do you think, there was a question, do you think Jerry Jones says anything to Micah Parsons? Does he say like hello or anything?
I'm sure if Micah Parsons sees Jerry Jones, I think he'll say something to him.
Okay.
Before
okay.
I don't even think Micah Parsons is so outgoing. I think he'll run up to him and whatever he'll have to say, he'll say it. But I got Parsons getting at least 3 sacks in this game.
Oh, he's gonna go off. And then I don't know if you saw the comments, but Jerry Jones said, I think either this morning or yesterday, saying that, well, we didn't win any Super Bowls with Micah Parsons, and we really needed to stop the run. Kind of making an excuse, saying there's a reason why we got rid of Micah. And I'm like, dog, like the Bears, did you see that off that defense against the Bears, Trayvon Diggs?
Immediately after the comments, yep.
Come on, man. We can't keep doing this. It's gonna be interesting. I know the Cowboys fans love the Cowboys, but it'll be interesting to see if Micah gets a sack on Dak couple and how the fans react.
Trust me, he will. You've been thinking about this for a while.
I feel like it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, this game was circled for him.
I think he said it's gonna. If you get a chance to sack Dak, he's like, it's gonna be violent. That's what he said. It's gonna be violent. He's gonna,
I have no reason to disagree.
He's gonna make a statement in that game for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Packers in this one.
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. Chiefs Ravens. Going into this game, obviously not the best situation injury wise. Appears Ronnie Stanley has not practiced all week, so he's going to probably be out. They've been mentioning Noteboom as his replacement on left tackle. Don't know who that is. I think he said he played like 4 snaps.
He plays for
all
us
of last season. He plays for us. Yeah, he's a backup left tackle, swing tackle. I've never heard of this man before.
I thought they were just going to move somebody we already had on the line.
I thought, okay, let's move Rosengarten. Have him play at left tackle or something.
This is where we would have put Macari somewhere if we had him. But we don't have the luxury anymore.
No.
And look at us now calling it a luxury.
Yeah. And I mean, even guys like, who do we have? It was like a Macari we had, and we also had, and
not Zeitler.
Not Zeitler. Who was the other swing we had that we ended up letting go? Not Jensen. We had him last year, the last couple of years.
Not Voorhees. What was? I can't remember. I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't put my finger on his name.
That was 2023.
Yeah, it was Voorhees. Macari.
We had Zeitler, Lindebaum, Morgan, no, Ronnie Stanley, no, Patrick Macari. That's what I'm thinking of.
It was Macari. That's what we talking about.
Yeah, Macari. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. They had him playing left tackle when Ronnie Stanley.
He could play literally any position, I think, on the line.
Yeah.
If somebody got hurt. But now we're having Noteboom potentially be playing at left tackle. And look, even with the healthy line that they had last week, and they got 30 pressures. What do you think? Who's the defensive coordinator? Dick Vermeil? Is that his name? Is that Vermeil? That's not his name, right? Is that his name?
Dick Vermeil, the Chiefs' old coach?
Yeah, the defensive coordinator.
Oh,
Spagnuolo. Yeah. He's done a number on us for years.
Yeah.
He does a really good job. And you think he won't line up Chris Jones on that left tackle?
Yeah. It's...
You got Rosengarten on the right side and probably Noteboom or wherever his name is going to be on the left side.
Yeah, they're looking at chops already, I'm sure.
Like we've already have issues with Falele having to get help from Rosengarten. They've said Rosengarten looks bad because he has to go help Falele a lot of times. Falele misses his guy and he has to go get somebody.
Clean up. Yeah.
Has to release. But they said Rosengarten's not really the problem. It's the fact that he has to help Falele so much. And again, I said this early in the year. I think I was a little worried because I think this team is very top heavy. There's not a lot of depth on both sides of the ball. I'm like, if any of these guys get hurt, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Here we are. And I don't know about the Ronnie Stanley. Is it the same ankle he had a surgery on? I'm like, they haven't said anything about.
That's a good question.
They haven't said anything about that ankle. Like we're worried about Nandi Madubuike. Like if it comes out that Stanley, if Harbaugh's like, I'm a little worried about this Stanley injury. Oh, we're screwed then. We're
Yeah.
screwed. Like, I think my dad said I talked to my dad. I was like, he said Lamar's gonna start doing like Peyton Manning did years ago and just start falling down on the ground. He's like, I'm not even gonna get him. I'm just gonna fall down.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get minus 1 yard.
Demand another
No
trade.
point.
They better
No
get
point.
it together.
Yeah, get it together, man. So you're going against like I don't know. I don't see anybody covering Kelsey, especially you look at what Laporta did to this defense last week. And even though he didn't have a lot of yards, he was getting first downs. Like it was third downs, and Laporta was
So it was
wide open.
crucial downs, yeah. Crucial
Wide
downs. He was
open,
killing
just
us.
catching the football. So I don't know anybody in the linebacking core right now is going to be able to cover Travis Kelsey. The wide receiver threat, obviously, I think they can handle that. Thornton is more of a deep threat. The same thing with Jamison Williams. They don't really have that short yardage guy, but again, Pat Mahomes will run the football. Him and Pacheco. Pat Mahomes has been scrambling a lot more, and we saw in that Bills game with Josh Allen. The Ravens would over pursue on one side and leave a whole side of the field wide open, and Josh Allen would just go get 8-9 yards. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with this defense. Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid are too smart to allow. Like when you get a sack on, it's like when you get a sack on like guys like Tom Brady, guys like Drew Brees, and those kind of quarterbacks. It's because you earned it, because you did it. You shut everything else down. They had no other options but to get hit. And I just feel like the Ravens, and even though Pat Mahomes isn't like he's not a speedster or anything, but he can get a first down. And I was like, there are going to be situations where the Ravens are going to have him in third and 11, third and 12, and they're going to give up they're going to give up first downs. It's going to be those head scratching plays we saw from last year. There'll be third. How did the Ravens give up a 3rd and 15? How did the Ravens let that happen? You saw it all last year. We saw it happen last year. And I feel like this is the kind of game that's going to happen. There are going to be opportunities for the Ravens to get off the field. And I just feel like this defense is not going to do it. It's not going to do
it. Yeah. I think it's going to be a long day, man. I think it's going to be a long day. Chris Jones is already buttering us up. He's been glazing Lamar all week.
Andy Reid has too. He's like, "That's a great defense." Zach Orr is a phenomenal.
Yeah, he's glazing. They're glazing the defense like they didn't see what just happened. Chris Jones is talking about how he was the MVP over Josh Allen easily. I'm like, yeah, they're buttering him up to do something. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough out. I just don't see how we get any type of success in this game, seeing as though we're going to be worse off personnel-wise than we were in the game we just had against the Lions.
We had to against the Lions, yeah.
I mean, maybe if we had some type of phenomenal coaching, then they can coach us to a win. But you already know where I stand with that, whether it be the D coordinator and the head coach. But yeah, I just it's just going to be a tough game. I think our only hope is if we win them running the football, which as far as Derrick Henry's fumbling issues, I don't know what that's all about. Maybe you need to take his sleeves off. Looks cool, but
right. If he's slipping out like that, man,
he's fumbling every week. It's like
it's like Tiki did. Tiki had to make some foundational changes, and it worked.
And it's kind of sucks because it's like, look how late he is in his career, and this is becoming a thing. Yeah. But I think running the football might just be the only way we can kind of get success against this in this game. Utilizing Lamar in these RPOs and maybe giving him some QB runs, some design stuff, so he can get out in space. We saw what that looked like a little bit in the Detroit game. He was able to gash him for some decent yards, but we just kind of have to attack them. That just has to be our full game plan attack is running through them and getting Lamar in open space somehow. And obviously we want to incorporate some play action, but we just don't want to be predictable about it. And I think that's the key for our offense, at least, to not be predictable in our game plan and run the ball. And defensively, we just have to hold everything underneath us because they're going to get their passes off because we just don't have the pass rush to support them doing anything different. Unless, that's if we can't generate a pass rush. If we somehow can generate a pass rush, which I just don't see how, unless they found somebody off the street this week, which they haven't done yet. But yeah, like you said, I agree. I think you just got to keep contain Mahomes because he is doing a lot more running because he's down. He was down a couple of weapons. I'm not sure. Xavier Worthy, is he back this week?
No, he's still out.
so he's still out. So you might see some more running from Mahomes, and if Travis Kelce has a day against us, that's going to tell me even more about our defense, and it
Yeah,
won't be good if he has a big game because
because
you're
he's out
telling me,
here yelling at Andy
yeah,
Reid last
yeah,
week.
and he's yelling at Andy Reid coming off the field after jogging a route. So it's like,
Yeah,
to me, if you let Travis Kelce have a big day against your defense, then we might officially be
you
cooked
got a
on the
problem.
defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just keep him in check. Uh, Hollywood Brown, he's probably going to have a little extra juice in this game. I'm not sure if we were able to play him. I think the last time opportunity we had, he might have
I
been
think he was
injured.
out. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
hurt. Yeah,
so Hollywood, don't let him go off because
yeah.
he gets a first down and he thinks he scored a touchdown every week. So don't let him go off. And secondary, you just gotta kind of play better than everybody else on the field because there's no pass rush helping you out there. So I think the key to this game, running the football effectively, not generating penalties, keeping everything underneath you, and hopefully just keeping that offense off of the field. Just generate some long drives so you can just kind of get their defense tired, and that's really our only hope.
No,
In this
yeah.
game.
They were saying like they got to really focus on quick passes in this game, like get the ball out 2-3
Yeah.
seconds, like drag routes. Have Zay, I think Tylan Wallace especially. You can have Tez for the deep stuff, or whatever, but I think Tylan Wallace and Zay for the most part are going to be your go-to guys in this short game. And then they'll got to have it maybe curl route plays with DeAndre Hopkins. We saw that play he had in Detroit where Lamar just threw it to the sideline and it just
And
got caught it.
and if you don't catch it 9 times out of 10, he might draw a flag. So.
Right, he's good at that. So I'm like, those are going to be your key guys, and likely we don't know if he practiced. He's limited, or he practiced all week, so possibly he could be his first game back.
He was a full participant yesterday.
Full participant. Okay, so hopefully he could play this week and could be a good outlet for them. But quick passes is going to be the game. Forcing fumbles, like you said, I feel like the Ravens aren't going to be able to stop Pat Mahomes from throwing the football. But the key for them is going to be after the guys catch the ball, punching, getting something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's going to have to happen. They're going to need to force takeaways. They're going to need to punch the ball out, rip at the ball, do something. They get to try to make something happen. I don't think any interceptions are going to happen, just because they'll be playing a quick game too. That's what Mahomes likes to do, and because he'll be scrambling a lot. But if they have opportunities to punch the ball out, they're going to have to punch the ball out. They got to do something, because it's just not going to happen. If they're waiting for a pick to happen, it's not going to happen. They got to start being more active when they get the ball carry and like ripping the ball out. They got to do something. That's how they're going to win this football game. So.
Yeah, a lot of bounce back games are owed from a couple of these guys on our defense.
Yeah,
Marlon Humphrey.
It's a must win for both teams, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
With Kyle Hamilton, Marlon, you said Marlon, like you said, and Travis Jones, and,
Malachi Starks.
Yeah, this is. You can't have the game you guys had against the Browns and then show up like you did against Detroit. I'm sorry. You just can't.
Zach Orr. Yeah.
Everybody. You got to coach like you're coaching for your job, man. For real.
The coaches should be coaching for your job. Yep, they all coaching for their jobs.
Let's give the scores. What do you think? What do you think for this game?
I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's nothing. It's literally nothing I've seen last week. And then comparing that with our injury report, who we have available going into this week, to make me feel like we're going to win this game. The only thing that makes me feel like we can win this game is because of the Chiefs, and I honestly don't think the Chiefs are that good.
Mm-hmm.
But what they do have going for them is that their defense has been okay.
Yeah,
and our
better than ours.
And our defense just simply has not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do have us losing this game. I think Baltimore is going to be in a frenzy if we do lose this game, but maybe for the better. Maybe for the better. Maybe we'll see some type of change, and then maybe not. But I got the Ravens actually losing this game. Still hoping that we win this game, but I have us losing this game. I'll say 30-24.
Okay.
And that's higher than I wanted to pick, but I think it'll be like 30-24.
Yeah, it just seems like, and this is obviously not just this season thing, but for the last 5 years, 6 years, it's the same thing each time. Bad clock management. Guys are not supposed where they're supposed to be on the field. Miscommunications. Just not understanding the moment that you're in. The situational football is just terrible. I do feel like in this game, the Ravens offense, if they get in fourth and short, is going to go for it each time. Like, you're going to have to. Like, I feel like you just, like you said, you think if you 4th and 1, 4th and 2, just go for it.
And we're in Arrowhead, so
yeah, I feel like 4th and shorts, just go for it, man. Like, especially if you're past, you're on, even on your own 40, you're on your own, just go for it. Like, you have nothing to lose here at this point. At least try. Your offense is your best unit on the field. That's very, very clear. Your offense is your best unit. So I think you got to, I would trust Lamar, go get us a yard or would give us a yard or two.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get it. But yeah, it's the same thing stuff each week. And it just feels like nothing. This team, it just feels like it's coping right now. They're trying to make excuses for why they're playing the way they're playing instead of addressing what's actually happening. And we'll see it from the first drive. I'll tell you that right now. We'll see it from the first drive from the Ravens, defensively and offensively, where this team is at for this game. And I just feel like I think I had the Ravens losing this one too. And I'll say my score is, I think, 25-20 Chiefs.
Okay.
25-20 Chiefs.
All right. Hey, if it goes that way, I just ask Biscotti to throw a pair. Do what you got to do.
It's 1-3, man. Yeah, that's not a lot of teams make the playoffs at West. They said 1-3, only 14% of the time those teams make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'll just say this.
Yeah.
If the Ravens, if this is a canary in the coal mine situation for what's to come, and the Ravens end up missing the playoffs or have to be relegated to be a wild card team, we're moving in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong direction.
Yep. Biscotti should have a decision to make, but,
we'll
John's his bestie. We'll see how that goes.
Him and all of them are just a little too tight.
Too tight.
Yeah. That's
for sure.
All right, that's it from us. We'll catch you guys next week. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully after a win. Hopefully.
We'll be all surprised. We'll be all surprised.
Stranger things have happened.
Yes. So.
But I won't be betting on it.
No, I'm not. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. If you do any bets this game, just do it on prop bets.
Ravens,
for like yardage and stuff. Don't bet on anything about Ravens winning this game. Or
Ravens plus 10.
Yeah. So that's it from us. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.